Hi, I don't want anyone to take this the wrong way. This is me telling you how I feel. I feel, in general, that being on podcasts are, in some ways, a waste of time. They're not a waste of time as far as the intent and the hope involved in it. I still do suggest that people do podcasts if they want to, if that's the only thing that they have in their lives. But I compose music and I do other stuff, and I find that I do podcasts mostly as sidetracks. But when the sidetracks take more time than the stuff that I'm really wanting to do, that's when it gets to where I'm thinking that doing podcasts is a waste of time. Now, I know people who might ask me, does that mean me? Please don't ask that. I'd have to explain to a bunch of people about that, if that's the case. Instead, listen to what I say and then let that be it. If you feel you have to ask me about it, then that's like the idea of, if you don't like a post, then scroll on. But if a post upsets you, then you can't scroll on. You have to ask. But what I want to say is, this is not meant to upset people. This is meant as my opinion. Okay? And what I want to say is, I am tired of having people only think of me as a podcaster, or people who only want me to do podcasts. If that number is very low, if I was like having tons and tons of people listening, that would be different. But I don't do that kind of podcast, and I don't do it because I don't believe in catering to people. So in a way, I do think it's good to do podcasts, but what I want to say is, I want to suggest to those people who do them to work on other things in their lives other than podcasting. If you've got the talent to do other stuff, you just have to have the psychological ability to think of your own worth. Don't think of me as being better than you. Think of yourself as being good. Because a lot of times people want me to be on a podcast because they think I'm great. The point is, what do you think of yourself? So I'll still do them, but I really don't like to be bombarded with people wanting me to do them, because the point is, I would rather people listen to my music instead of me critiquing other groups for their music. Why don't I critique my own? Or why don't other people critique my music? That way, if you think I'm so great, then why don't you talk about my music? And I won't care how you think about it. You can say whatever you want. But yeah, the point is, I originally thought that it was going to be possibly I get credibility. That if I give my opinion, other people will think, oh, this guy is cool. What I didn't realize is that there's a lot of people who don't know of the music that I know of. So for me, I find that it's like I'm trying to explain something to someone in a foreign language, and they might enjoy my gestures and my smile, but they don't know what I'm saying, so it's going past them. And so for me, I don't want to cater to anybody with lower tastes or lower sensibilities. I want to continue doing what I want to do, and I want people to listen more to my classical music and my band music and what I post. If I get more people commenting on that stuff, and I mean a lot, then I will change my mind about the podcasting. But for me to only be known mostly for my podcasts and by very few people, that's like living in a very, very small town with only 20 people in it and being self-conscious because of what the 20 people say about me, when I could live in a big city with thousands of people who all have different opinions. So yeah, I'm kind of frustrated because I'm at the age where I want to have a little more recognition than what I have. I'm not saying that I need people to love what I do, but I mean, instead of being really picky and only being like someone who only listens to the first song on an album and not checking out the rest of the album, look at what I've done other than podcasts. You know, I meant for the podcast thing to be like an opening towards people checking out my other stuff, not a means to itself. So if you've misinterpreted what I said, or if you're someone who's so stubborn that you're like, oh, I only want to know what you're doing on the podcast, then to me, you're not worth my time. You're worth your time, but not mine. Okay, take care. Bye.